I just wanted to bring these guys on and talk a little bit about this the kickback event that's happening on January 9th. And joining me is one of my one of these guys that I haven't seen necessarily in person, but we've chopped things up for a long time. So Gabe Scotti, thanks for coming on to SneakerLife, man.
It. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. Happy to be on. Hoping to get another guest on here in a minute. Yeah. And,
yeah.
Take it from there. Yeah.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about January 9th. So Keanu, like you said, maybe you can tell us a little more about historically, but what are we looking forward to seeing on the 9th? Where is it at, and what are the details?
For sure. So we've been planning various phases of the event for a while, and because of the circumstances of the past year, it's made it a little difficult. There's about 5 or 6 of us kind of behind the scenes that have been working hard to kind of get this thing off the ground. It was my initial idea to just do sneakers in the park. And so I just pulled up one day and kind of created a couple of posts and threw them out there to everybody. And was just like, hey, what do y'all think if we just roll up our trucks, drop some pairs, sit around, talk story, and see if we can't do just like a mellow style kind of Sunday in the park or Saturday in the park sneaker event. And it turned into kind of a living, breathing organism unto its own, I guess. I just kind of ignited the fire, and I was really impressed with the amount of people that showed up, and just the kind of stoke for the scene that they brought with them. And it was no drama, and everybody was talking story. Dodged some raindrops on the first event, but a couple of tents here and there. Nobody's pairs got ruined. I know a whole bunch of deals went down. A lot of guys networked and that had never met, that just were kind of casual acquaintances on the board, but then got to meet in the flesh. And that was really cool just to see the in real life kind of thing meshed with the online stuff. And so, yeah, from a networking standpoint, we called it a success. I'd say probably we had 60 guys at the first one, maybe upwards of 100, 150 at the second. And then we were able to get the third one off just recently. So we did that early December, and we're prepping up now for our event on January 9th, which is this Saturday. And we really kind of cranked it up. We're going to go next level on this one. We've got a couple of food trucks. You can see the flyer there. That is out at Palisades, Pearl City Palisades. If you're familiar with local graduations and such, you might have been out there for an event before. So what we do want to do is get the doors open by 10, and we want to go all day. So we're just going to cruise. We'll just keep our fingers crossed, the sun shining. Hope to put out up to 50 vendors. So not only just kicks, but we're going to have plenty of retro gear. We're going to have some streetwear, some guys from the local scene representing as well. Drew the line at used car parts and baby strollers, but pretty much if it fits in kind of the genre, we want it. And we've got locals as well, new labels, kind of startup labels doing their own streetwear, so a chance for them to flex and come and bring what they have. So it's again, we're just bringing the kicks back to the people, trying to make sneakers great again, brother.
Yeah. So, I think that's been, the neat thing about this was, despite whatever was happening, with COVID and whatnot, to get this thing going and to, find a way for, there to continue to be some, interchange between, what's the community at large anyway, how's that sort of does that been something that was sort of the intention, regardless, or how did that sort of just all come about?
Yeah, I mean, we'd been to several events before. I know a lot of the guys have been to events on the mainland, and especially that's cool. What's cool with a sneaker community like Hawaii is you've got your local OGs, your diehards, the ones that have grown here, and then you got guys like me that were flown here. And I've been here 15 years, and I really just got back into kicks about 5 years ago. But it's kind of cool because it's a good overlap of folks who have been in the game for a long time. And anytime you're in it for a while, you see cycles, right? You see peaks and you see valleys, and it moves and it goes up and down. But we have a lot of guys here that, maybe they're only here for on the island for 2 or 3 years. And when they get here, they bring in whatever pairs they had from the mainland, and they're trying to find a place to fit into the sneaker community. And one of the things that Oahu's always been is really just a melting pot that embraces everybody. And so I was really, really genuinely touched when I saw the dudes that came out and they were saying, "Hey, Gabe, maybe we could try this next time. Maybe we could try this next time." We don't have a budget. We don't have money. This was just an organic kind of pop-up sneaker event. And the fact that we're able to be moving on to our fourth one now, have, like I said, up to 50 tables. I think the last time I counted, we probably sold about 40 of them. So we're about 80% sold out now. We'll probably have a couple guys coming in this week. Vendors that are basically bringing what they have to share with the community. I mean, I think that's kind of fits with the way that Hawaii jives. You go to a backyard barbecue, you're going to probably try something new, even if you grew up here. So that's the kind of idea. Everybody's bringing their own dish, and just a good excuse, no drama, just kind of hang out and talk story. And of course, centered around kicks and whatever cool, vintage vibes you got, streetwear, anything kind of goes for this event.
Yeah, the other thing though, like that we sort of talked about, is you weren't born and raised. You've been here for like 15 years, but
That's right.
you've
That's right.
obviously spent a lot more time, growing up in a place kind of a kind of matches that beard, I guess. If talk about sort of talk about Oregon, and you know did that sort of help shape you in terms of sneakers and so forth, or like sort of what kind of influence? Obviously, everybody knows Oregon, and what's attributed to Oregon, but like how has that sort of shaped sort of you as a sneakerhead, or as a collector?
Yeah, sure. If you don't know me, I am Scotty the Duck. They're right there, man. So not only do I wear the Oregon cap, I also put it on my arms enough. My dad was a duck. I was a duck. There's nothing wrong with being a duck these days. You can switch hats anytime you want, but I'm a duck through and through. So growing up in Eugene, the story of Phil Knight, how he kind of permeated the whole campus, not only before the big money came in, but the tales of track and field there, and everybody knew the story. The 90s was kind of like an interesting time, and I was on campus from 1997, 98-ish to about 2001. So as we were building into this kind of, West Coast new juggernaut, I would say, it was pretty interesting to watch. But the stories of Nike were always there, and I have friends that worked there. I had family members that worked there. The first kicks that I got into were J's as a kid playing basketball. My first pair was a Jordan 5, and so the 5 to me is always that kick that's always going to take me back there. And then as SBs started to grow, a lot of us were wearing skate shoes, and when we saw Dunks kind of coming into what you see now, which is absolutely crazy, but the early Dunks were kind of starting to be talked about, and you would see in certain places. But as well, I mean, most of us were pretty athletic in college. So, to us, when Air Maxes came out, it was a big deal. Like having a pair of Air Max 90s was a big deal. Like they were untouchable for a couple years there. And the scene in Oregon is rough because, man, if it's raining outside, you don't want to wear your kicks.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different, out here. If the suns are out, people are flexing their kicks, and I think that's great about Hawaii. I mean, Hawaii's got kicks for sure, so it's kind of nice to be able to wear what you want to wear almost every day of the year out here, and that's a blessing.
Is I mean, I know you haven't been there in a while, but does the scenes, do they how do they kind of compare, or how are they different? Obviously, like you said, I mean, the weather and our ability, I think it's always funny, like I'm on a lot of these European kind of groups, and they always go like, well, I'm gonna have to bust out my winter kicks now and put away my summer ones, and like, that's obviously kind of similar, I suppose, to what you guys did back home when you were living up in Oregon, or?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if I wasn't balling in a shoe, or if I wasn't playing a sport in a shoe, in college and in high school, I would have my kicks for my certain sports, right? But the actual love of the sneaker as kind of like an authentic piece that goes with whatever you're wearing, that to me wasn't born until later. And I was definitely out of college at that point, and I would say it was here where that really started. And I moved here in '05, but in Oregon, uh, I was kind of the backwards kid. So like if it's raining outside, I was wearing slippers. So it's almost like I was meant to live here to begin with. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
So, rubber slippers when it's raining and you kick your feet up in class and people are like, "What, man?" And everybody else has got rain boots on. It was kind of funny. And I did that even when I lived on the East Coast in the snow. I would wear slippers everywhere. So I guess it was only natural that I end up over here and end up with a huge sneaker collection in a place where you could legit wear sneakers slippers 365. But that's not how I do it.
Yeah, yeah, and even what you're doing now, as as your job, obviously, you probably don't necessarily wear sneakers a whole lot doing that, but
Uh, you sound a lot like my wife now, Brian. Come on now.
yeah, hey, getting back to the sneaker event, yeah, no, the whole reason why this sort of kind of came up and why I thought it was really neat to talk to you and hopefully Keanu gets on a little bit about it was hearing about it from a good friend of mine, Byron, and
Sure.
can you talk a little bit about was he involved from early on? Did sort of everyone kind of knows that he's you know he considers himself to be kind of like a low key kind of closet sneaker guy, but I mean everybody knows that he's got some shoes in the collection. But kind of how did he get involved with the whole thing?
Yeah, Byron and I actually met up. He bought a pair of mine that just I can't even remember what they were. They were just some Air Maxes, something that I wasn't feeling. Um, he and I met up at a coffee shop, just easy transaction. It was after work, whatnot, and he and I just started chopping it up and talking about it, and just the similarities between us. Small business owners. Obviously, what he's done with his brand. I'm the face of my company for better or worse. For the last 15 years. Most of my time spent on the water. Most of his time is spent creating the dope designs that you see. So his involvement, really, I just brought him in when I kind of surveyed the scene and I said, well, who could we have in different interesting spots that would come together and help me kind of collectively, manage this or just bounce ideas off each other. It really just came from guys that I had done deals with and dudes that I had thought were interesting cats that could bring something interesting to the table. And Byron's involvement, with Hawaii's Finest is incredible. He's the one behind the logo. So when we get to throw that around, we really started taking what were kind of the new things that were being built into kicks, and he's building that into his own apparel. And if you have discussions with him about, getting a call from Nike, not exactly happy with some of your designs, those are the more entertaining conversations than you could have. And not only does he bring that kind of passion, but he's constantly thinking about something. He's the ultimate tinkerer, right? And when he usually comes up with something and he sends it to us, we're always just like blown away, right? I mean, he doesn't miss. He's 10 for 10, 20 for 20. He's got an idea that he's always 3 steps ahead, right? So the idea for this event was that we really did want to have apparel. We wanted to have Hawaii's Finest represent. Byron designed the shirts that we're going to have. It is a limited run, so we do want to make sure that everybody knows that that is something that is going to be hotly contested and people are going to be after. But that is born out of his passion for the apparel side of it, and then what we're also seeing in the sneaker community. So, it doesn't take much to figure out where we drew inspiration from that one. Probably the biggest kick from last year. Love it, hate it. You can talk about what it's done to your beloved collection or not done to your collection or what has been unobtainable because of it. But you can't deny that Travis dunk was huge. So that's the inspiration on that one. He's a Jordan guy too, man. So
Right.
you're gonna see a lot of designs that are influenced by the Jordans, the camo pack, you know, the 90s that came out last year with the duck camos. That's built right into a couple of his newer shirts and stuff too. So it's dope to be able to see something like that we can just claim, like, you know, that's a Hawaii thing. And I show his stuff to people on the mainland and they just lose their mind, right? So it's pretty dope. And his involvement not only with high school athletics, all the way down to middle school athletics. I mean, the guy's as legit as they get. And heart of gold. And I just wish my beard could be as cool as his. So.
And you know, that latest design, one of them that he got, I went into the shop to pick up. You know, it's inspoed, at least in part. I mean, obviously the Jumpman's there, but you know, you can't deny teal and elephant print. You know, that's you know, it's, you know, I think if you've been following the stream, or you know me and my collection, you know, the Jade Elephant Air Max 1 is, you know, to see that, I was like, yeah, now he's going in the right direction. But
yeah, and I mean, there's only 2 pairs of kicks you can wear with it, and one of them happens to be a timeless classic, and the other one the jury's still out on, right?
Right, exactly.
But yeah, good for him. And I mean, those colorways they're fresh. You bring that elephant print in, man, we're talking next level stuff. And we're really honored to have him. And he's very much a part of the planning phase of all of this, but he helps us out with all the design elements and comes up with the flyers. And yeah, it's really important to have him on.
Yeah, and you know, speaking of having him on, Byron, if you're watching this, you know, we wanted to have you on to talk, and you know, once you sort of get things calmed down and stuff on, you know, on the shop side, you know, definitely, I want to have you on to talk some sneakers. But speaking of that, you know, we should just dive right in. You know, like you know, one of the things we do on here is, one of the ways obviously we build community is by, you know, kind of sharing not only, you know, the sneakers and what they look like, but you know, sort of like the story behind it, or why, you know, you consider that pair to be a favorite. So you know, I kind of asked you maybe to pick a couple, and you know, one, you know, like kind of show us the pair, because you know, a lot of these pairs, you know, people may not always get a chance to see, and two, like, you know, what's sort of the you know, the story or the reason behind it. So if you know, what you got to show us, I'm actually a little
I got a couple, man.
a little excited.
You kind of put me on the spot. I got home. I figured I had the short list in my mind. I'll start with a custom, and the reason why I like customs is obviously you can go any way you want with a custom. And I cooked up this idea a while ago, and with the help of a couple people, I was able to secure the base pair, which I think everybody will recognize. But what you know, first fan of ones, is that is not from an OG. So that's from a 1.5. But I decided to put a black on it. So to me, I always thought a Chicago would have looked dope with a black sole. And I went ahead and did it. And you know, the leather quality is not going to be like the last OG run, which was, damn, I can't believe it, 2013 now, is it?
Right.
Maybe 2013.
I think so. Yeah.
But
yeah,
I had to throw some SB laces in there too, and I did always love the black tongue tag. So that's my custom black sole one.
Nice.
That's one of my favorites in the collection.
Nice.
A sole swap done properly, you know, costs a little bit, but that's a pair that I'm always going to wear nowadays. So
you got a shout out on that sole swap? Who did that for you?
I do, but at the moment, that name is eluding me. He's a big guy on the mainland. He's from Utah, and we went back and forth. The turnaround time on that was about 2 months, but worth waiting for. And nice. I lost the name. It's here, but then
yeah, we'll throw that up on there later.
I'll try to see if I can remember. You gonna bring out some pairs too?
Yeah, man. So I got one. I mean, I thought maybe like a more OG guy like you could appreciate it. So I happened to stumble upon these a little while ago, and these are a pair of 01, I guess, Pro B Obsidian grip tapes. Found these kind of by chance, and there's a little bit of, I mean, like, when I first got them, I kind of thought, I guess they equivalent to like a wannabe Atmos dunk, but amongst the lineage of, I guess, at least Pro Bs and the whole grip tape series, I mean, it's definitely, it has its place. I mean, maybe not amongst, like, the echelon, I suppose, of some of these other pairs that, maybe came out in that era, but, definitely one that was, kind of hard to come by, and I stumbled upon them, and I happened to stumble upon those just before,
The big boom,
the
right?
aforementioned guy decided to go and, yeah, do his thing. But yeah, so that's one for me that I think was a nice find. That grip tape is kind of a interesting touch, obviously, for skate shoe, and it isn't an SB, so
Right.
some guys kind of go, well, there's not an SB, but the Pro Bs, to me, I mean, I think they really kind of set the tone for what ultimately became Nike skateboarding, and it's definitely one that I'm pretty happy. A little bit of yellowing on the other pair, on the outsole side, but it's I think it kind of adds to that vintage nostalgia kind of thing. So it's
Well,
kinda
then
cool.
we're gonna, then we open the discussion of like, do you want to rock your dunks and make them look the way they look, or are you gonna be hell bent on keeping them clean? And to me, a dunk is a dunk when it has some personality, right?
Right,
So
right.
your Pro Bs, if you know them, then you understand and you know that they were built probably better than most of the stuff you see in the middle box eras.
Right.
But those Pro Bs, they're always going to work it. I mean, I can reach over here and show you the same colorway, but this is nothing compared to what you have.
Hmm.
Nothing. And even when they tweak with it and they try to do another outsole for us, I mean, the quality alone on those Pro Bs,
Yeah.
if you've held one, if you've worn one, then there's nothing compared to that. So that's a great find, man. That's a good pickup.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a nice one to stumble upon, and it kind of happened at the right time. What else you got? What else you got to show us?
I mean, we gotta pay tribute to the fact that Hawaii's got kicks, man. So you cannot go wrong. Every time I want to go to a
Mm.
backyard barbecue, I keep two of these in the rotation. These are the cleaner of the two. But anytime I can see myself grabbing another pair of these, or if they come around, somebody wants to get rid of them, and I have a hard time passing up. So OG box and OG laces on those. So I feel
Oh,
fortunate
so
to have
much
gotten
cleaner than
those.
my pair. If anybody,
Yeah.
my IG or whatever, mine mine are definitely had been shown a lot of love over the years, obviously, but happen to pick those
As
up
they
for
should
song.
be, man. As they should be. And honestly, you can go, oh well, it's not an SB. Well, there's some joy to having a thinner tongue
Oh yeah,
on your dunks.
yeah,
And
yeah, for
I
sure.
love my Pele's too. I'm not gonna lie, I love the Pele's, but to me, the Kicks Hawaii takes cake. Nobody understands it on the mainland, which is oftentimes, if you can find it on the mainland, you can get a good deal, and the guy will just say, yeah, some crazy guy in Hawaii wants this pair. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Well,
not nowadays though. Nowadays,
not.
these SB heads, they know about the Hawaii dunk, and that Lauhala to me just really, shout out to Chris, Cam, and those guys out at Kicks Hawaii. I think at the time, to pick that material for that middle portion of that dunk was just like that really sets a lot of things off for me anyway, and in terms of really giving it that Hawaii vibe.
And
Nice.
honestly, I really do think it has not tarnished over the years. I mean, it has gained even maybe a little softness and a little give, but you're right. This is next level right here.
Yeah, yeah, it's
And
just
being in as good a condition as it is, you take care of them and they'll take care of you, So
yeah, yeah, for sure,
very cherished pair.
for sure.
I got something else for you.
What else you
I got
got?
something else for you. Because I got to give Kevin Dat a shout out for these because he picked them
Shout
up
out to
and I
Kev.
said, "What are those?"
No way. Dang.
And these are a Dornbecker freestyle, and I don't know if you've seen these, right, Brian?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I got them right before price went nuts, and they're still DS. So there's going to be a special occasion coming up. So if we're sticking with the Hawaii theme, you can knock on these all you want, but this is fresh to me.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh yeah.
I was pretty pumped to get a pair of these. And yeah, shout out to Kevin on that one because he turned me on to those.
Huh. Well, it's interesting. Since we're on this Dorenbecher
Oh,
vibe.
oh,
The shoe that I thought it's not Hawaii, but it's the shoe I think you definitely could appreciate is this pair right here. Uh,
oh,
I happened to stumble upon these for I think I've got them for like less than $100. You know
oh.
like this particular model, amongst all the Dornbechers, I mean, the one thing that sets it apart obviously is the fact that not only does it have the Oregon O, but it also has it has the win the day. To me, one of the the catchphrases for Oregon football that I wish they it would find its way back into the vernacular. But I really think like this is a great pair. That I think it's a little underappreciated, I suppose, but I really do. Beyond the fact that it's an Oregon shoe, that whole thing that Nike did, with the Children's Hospital is just it's a great way I think for some of these kids to you know be able to get some creative expression, but also I sometimes in some ways I wish it wasn't so you know sort of at the mercy of resellers to a certain extent. But to have these come out and to revision and and we know some of them over the years, like especially the Jordans over the years, DB7, DB6, a lot of those they're you know those are definitely you know a pair to keep, and obviously it's stuff that I try to rock when we're at any of the future games I'm gonna head out to. But Keanu said he's gonna be on. Hopefully he's coming on soon. But you got anything else? You those are
Yeah,
those are the pairs.
I got two more.
While we're
Actually,
waiting for him.
I got one more that. Let me just say that Air Max 90 right there. When Oregon and Dornbecker and they meshed it and they put it on a 90, I'm all in. So yes, I have a pair and they are dead stock still, but I did not pay $100 for those, unfortunately. These are actually a weird one, but if you're into Jordan 1 lows, I actually found this. This is from an old regional pack, and the thing that I really like, not only is the quality of the leather really nice, I like the sock liner, the tongue having a little bit of flash there with this kind of raised up Jumpman and the Air logo. I really thought they nailed it. Now they had a UCLA one, but this is actually a Michigan State color. Right. So this is kind of your Sparty vibes here. But the fact that I was able to get this dead stock, this is probably one of my favorite Jordan 1 lows. And I was having this discussion with somebody the other day. I will take a dunk 9 times out of 10 any day for comfort, but sometimes you just got to rock a Jordan 1 low. So I was really happy I found this dead stock. This is probably 2 years ago. I got to undead stock it this year, so that's been a nice one. That green is really nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
But
you don't see that a whole lot.
That's kind of a little sleeper that you definitely don't see around. And then I do have to give a shout out too, so I'll show you my last one because I see the man creeping back there. He's back there.
Yeah.
I think it's coming.
There he is. There he is.
Have we talked about these at all, Brian? Do you know what this is?
No. What is that?
So Soul Savvy is a community from the mainland, and it's actually started by a bunch of dudes in Canada. And it's, without giving them too heavy of a plug, I've been a member of for over a year now. And much like our idea for the kickback started, just a bunch of dudes sitting around talking story, we said, what if we designed our own one? And this
Oh,
kind
I
of what we,
seen that. I seen that. I seen that posted, man. So you were able to get a pair. Nice. You know, has that
did you
union
see,
vibe to it, and yeah.
yeah. Did you see Nightwing from Chris from Weartesters review it?
No, I heard about it though, but I didn't get to check it out. But yeah, that's nice.
So we literally planned every single detail of this shoe, every thread and every inch of it was thought out by the members. And when they came to it, all of the details kind of came into it, individually
Yeah.
numbered for all
Right.
of us,
Right.
stamped on the heel. So you've got an homage to your frags there. You can obviously see the Union influence, right?
Right.
Got to go hard with the mini
Mini
swoosh.
swoosh. Right.
But
Right.
this is all premium leather. And, Nightwing was doing his
Right. Right. Right.
premium stuff. But this is, I'm one of two guys on the island I know that has them. And these are really special, man. But
Yeah, nice.
the only thing that the OG is, we did have to sacrifice a bunch of pine green lows to get these OG soles. So
Yeah.
it's
a
pretty lit.
small price to pay. Small price. Hopefully his audio. Oh, he's muted though. But we should get him to come in and
I'm in.
Okay.
Hey, there he is.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. What's up, man? Hey, thanks for coming in.
What's
Hey,
up?
What's
Hey,
happening?
So at long last, Hawaiian time, Keanu Deboma. Hey,
My apologies. I'm
hey.
sorry.
No worries, no worries. Hey, so we talked a little bit about the event, and obviously that event's happening this Saturday, and it's the fourth iteration of it, and what can you sort of tell us? I think Gabe sort of told us about the event itself and what to expect from this iteration, but there's been a little bit of a history in terms of how long you guys been doing this, and I think you kind of was one of the guys that was there from the ground level. Talk a little bit about the event and how it sort of evolved from where you guys first had it.
Oh man. It's oh man, this honestly, it just went from, I don't know. We were actually just talking, just jotting down random like ideas, and one thing led to another. We all just said, "Hey, let's just take a leap of faith and let's just go out. Let's just go do something like no one has ever seen before." And when you're around a bunch of great guys that share the same mentality as you, everybody loves sneakers. We all have that in common. It just plays itself out. And we're super fortunate enough that we had a lot of supporters, a lot of people that actually believed in something that was just like a joke, and it ended up being real. So, it's honestly just a blessing. It's kind of cool to see the community come together like that. How this all started, I don't even know, but I'm glad we're at where we're at today. That's all I can say.
I said anybody crazy enough to have a sneaker meetup in the park, and then
Literally.
do it again, even while it's raining. We've managed to build a little bit, but I definitely think Keanu's right. It was just taking the influences that were around us and then just kind of wrapping it up at the end and going, hey, what could we do be better next time? What do you guys want to do next time? So it's been pretty impressive. And Keanu said it, we're grateful for all of it.
Hey, and before you got on, we were trying to, stretch like crazy to wait for you to come on. So, but I was gonna put you on the spot.
How late was I?
I was gonna put you on the spot anyway. I was gonna put you on the spot anyway, but I messaged Keanu earlier because I thought I'd at least seen the name before, it's been a little while, since he's put on a Marauder jersey, but we'd be remiss if we didn't take a little walk down memory lane.
Oh,
And
man.
and
man.
shout out to Barry Villamil for this. He's a good friend of mine too. But I think I had only like one picture, on Scoring Live, from your age. Sorry, I guess at the time, Waipahu maybe wasn't the juggernaut of basketball.
Oh, we
But
definitely wasn't.
it was cool though to see, like it's crazy to think like it's a lot of guys, whether they're in shoes or out of shoes, they they it's they've been involved in sports in Hawaii, and it's cool to go back and look and see. And I'm sure like you still remember the days of playing, whether it was baseball or basketball. And I recall bowling too, if I remember
I
correctly.
did.
But
That is correct.
it's cool. I mean, and that's sort of you know the main thing obviously we do at Scoring Live is cover high school sports, and that that's sort of been obviously not on the table the last 9 months now it's going on. But and we miss it. But one of the sort of the nice things that came out of this whole sort of not so great situation was thinking about content. And I'd always wanted to do something. It's just always been so busy, or maybe later or whatever. But this whole thing sort of forced us to go, well, what can we do? And I'm like, like we should just start talking to athletes, obviously, current ones, and talk about kicks. But I think like you know you don't necessarily have to have been a guy that played, and we'll let a guy from Oregon come and talk some sneakers. He's not a
Yes.
he's a lot. I seen that actually. I was hoping you'd bring those out. But hey, let's get right into that though. But Gabe showed us a couple of pairs, and I wanted to see what you had, and let's start with that. One of the ones that I took a fat L on a couple of weeks back. But tell us about those Sakais.
These, man, Oregon Ducks. I'm an Oregon Ducks fan. Gabe knows it. I am also a Green Bay Packers fan. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I didn't wake up early enough. I'm assuming. I mean, I swear my account was pending. Everything was going through. I didn't get a fraud message from my bank. I said, okay, maybe I hit on these. Comes around like 6, 7 o'clock. I'm like, I think it's about that time. I see everybody posting W's on Facebook, on HSS, and I'm like, well, I mean, I guess I didn't win it then. So, the next best thing is just to pay resale. You can't beat them, join them. Just pay resale. Literally, that's it.
Yeah. So
Let me guess, they're 10.5.
That
Is
is
that?
a 10.5.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's a 10.5. Well, the other one is an 11. It's somewhere around here. I don't know where it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
hey, so talk about like the Sakai as a silhouette. I think like, I mean, I don't want to say they're like overly polarizing, but obviously I mean, you could argue like it's sort of like when the Roche Run came out. I mean, it was a very unconventional sort of silhouette, and
That's right.
and that thing blew up. Like obviously I think the collaboration with the outfit like Sakai is gonna probably have some staying power, much like Fragment or some of these other larger collaborations, Supreme or Undefeated. But where do you see this Sakai waffle, and how does that fit into silhouettes as we sort of move along in the future? What's your take on the Sakai waffle?
They definitely are comfortable. They're very unique. I think this right here is what turns a lot of people away. It's just kind of looking at it, it's like it's kind of weird. It's a sole under a sole under a sole. It kind of looks weird. So it probably turns a lot of people away. But people that have actually worn their Sakais, they are very, very comfortable. Although they are narrow on the inside right here, they are very narrow, but they are very, very comfortable. I see these holding value. These will probably stay up high in the market. Plus, it's Nike. This is a very, very unique colorway. Obviously, it had to be. That's why I had to get it. But these will hold value. Honestly, I think they'll be up there. They'll be up there for a long time.
I think
My
it's
opinion.
nice too that they pushed past the original colorway because, or the original design of the waffle, which they hit us with 5 or 6 different colorways.
Right.
Yeah.
And then this is taking it one step further. If you didn't like that sole on top of a sole look on the first one, it was polarizing. Like you're exactly right, Brian. But if you've worn them, they are comfortable. And I have 2 pairs of the OGs, and I do wear them, and they are comfortable. And I liked them so much, I had a custom built for me too. So
Nice.
shout out to Juan on that one. You might see me stomping around in those too. But yeah, I think you got a lot of people on one side saying collabs are dead, but I think they're stronger than ever right now.
I agree.
Especially with the quality that they're putting in, and they're being smart enough about it. They're making them limited enough. I think the collab culture is never going away, truthfully.
Yeah, and I think like what they've done recently, if you look at something like Strange Love Skateboards, I mean, really small little fledgling company, and not one home run, but 2 ultimately, over a small course of time, and some of that might be sort of artificially generated, obviously, from a lot of the hype that's sort of surrounding the dunk right now, but it's undeniable, I think, that what gets injected into a silhouette from an inspiration, whether that's it's like concepts with the Mallard, or Bodega recently, or whatever. I think a lot of that's obviously it's something that Nike went away from for a little while, but when they obviously did it there's the Bodega right there, during that golden era, right, with the Shop Manager series, right? I think like they're sort of getting back to that. Oh, I didn't step on your toes at that Bodega. That was one of the ones you got picked out. But you got another one. You got another one. You wanted to.
You're bringing any collabs in tonight, huh?
I mean, if we're talking about collabs,
You get the Easy Bake Oven version, or you got the regular box?
The regular.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy. Just something to rock,
Yeah.
So it is. Quality control is crazy. I will admit, it is crazy quality control.
If we're talking dunks too, the orange box stuff has been crazy good. If you haven't seen the quality on these are amazing.
Second to none.
And nobody likes mids. And nobody likes mids these days, but I'm telling you what, like, they're doing it from a quality perspective. I'm still happy when I see mids being reasonably priced because they just fit my foot the right way. So I'm always happy to have a mid.
So yeah, you got another one. You got another one you wanted to bring out, Keanu, or? I mean, that's
were we doing our 5 pair of things?
You can
I totally missed that.
You can do your pair. You can do your do another one.
Oh man, there's not enough hours in the day. I swear.
That's why
you're just grabbing whatever's next to you.
Choose like 5 of them, and just it's
I
tough.
guess I just haven't been putting nothing away in a while. Let's see. Gabe, did you show yours already?
Yeah, man. I mean, we've only been chopping it up for like an hour. Where you been?
I've been setting up stuff for TKB, man. I'm sorry, dog. I guess I'll
right
show.
there. You got you got those.
Oh man,
those plums right there.
You get the set.
The suede is winning. Nah, man. This was the only one out of the set I really wanted. I've been after this one for a while.
Yes, sir.
Anybody giving New Balance any love? Oh, now he's bringing out the Chicago.
I had to, man. I guess like a lot of people say, "Oh, this is what started it. This is what started." It's like you don't even know. These things last forever, like just forever.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Let's see. What else I got stashed over here?
Let me see some Kobe's, man. I know you got some Kobe hiding back there.
Oh, yeah. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Brian definitely has. Definitely. I don't want to show his now. I mean, I don't want to show mine. I want to see his first.
That's where I got to as well. I was like, come on, man. I'm showing off pairs. We got to see what you got there.
Brian definitely got some heat. That's for sure. Let's see. I know, man. My bad. I took like forever, dude.
Nah, that's all good.
Let's see. I got these.
Oh.
Ah,
Jeez.
there it is.
I had to, man. Everybody's all shook about their 2020 pair. I was like, yeah, you guys can have that one. I'll stick with the OGs.
How are they holding up? They're holding up okay. You probably don't wear them a whole lot, but
I actually hooped in these, I'll be honest.
oh yeah, that's what's better for them though, actually.
Right?
Recently, did you ball in them recently?
Oh no.
Yeah, my 3Ds bit it though, so that's why I'm wondering, like, ultimately that's sort of the, I think like some of the basketball technology, over, they I guess you can say that they don't make them like they used to, but like it's not like you can have a pair of 03 or 04 dunks and wear them. Like a lot of these Kobe's, they kind of do have expiration date ultimately. But yeah, I really think those Grinches though, those are like my up there with my like pairs of all time. But since we're talking Kobe's and you guys are Oregon fans, I have to show one more pair. It's not special though, but
he's gonna do it.
There it is.
These are the Kobe 80 Oregons. I really like the wings. I mean, I think that was one of the things that really set this pair off. And the O on the heel is nice. Another one I happened to find, like, really kind of just before kind of thing, and rest in peace Kobe, but it's like sort of like it's unfortunate, like not only the fact that he's not here with us, but like a lot of what's happened, and the same thing can be said for like for like Doom, like, and what that sort of did, with his passing, even though that was back in October, like they hear about it, and next thing MF Doom SBs are selling for like $6,000, and I think it's a little unfortunate, but yeah, well, it's I don't get a lot of Oregon guys that can appreciate, so I got one more, and then I'm done with sharing, but it's a custom that I had made by a street kind of artist. His name is Old Boy Malone. He's I think you see some of his stuff up and around around the the island. But these are some Oregon-inspired Air Max ones that I had him make for me. So kind of just told him I wanted to get try to get that that apple green in there, but some other hues, and then I wanted him to kind of keep his wave motif. So there's some blue, and then that's what made these sort of like powder mint blue kind of laces, and it worked like perfectly. So I was really stoked on how these sort of came out, but
that detail is crazy.
But yeah, these are so I've been wearing these. I've been wearing these through the season. They match the Oregon Ohana shirt, so some of that green. So it was like it's a different green obviously than what is typically in the Oregon palette, at least as of late. So but yeah, I know you guys can appreciate the the color palette, obviously. So but yeah, it's there's not a lot of true like die-hard Air Max sort of guys. So when you get a chance to see guys that do, it's always nice to and shout out John Ohm. And there's a bunch of other guys that are pretty more hardcore than I ever will be, with grand pianos and BRS and Cherrywood or whatever. But yeah, so Yeah, before we,
You
we
like
head
Air
out.
Maxes?
Yeah, Air Maxes, man. Yeah, that's the way to go.
Yeah, I'll show you one.
Oh, wait, let's see this.
There it
Oh,
is.
yeah, the lunar landings,
Ah,
or Mars
Yeah,
landings, or lunars. Yeah, yeah, moon landings.
just
they
just
still
a
dead stock?
crazy shoe overall.
Are they
They
still dead
still
stock?
are. They
Hmm.
still
Oh,
are. Light as a feather too. Like
yeah,
they're
the lunar
so
one's
like
crazy on those.
incredible.
I
Incredible.
those to me are like a pair like I could, as much as I like to say people should wear shoes. I mean, that's like a piece that should be up on a shelf. And yeah,
Oh yeah.
I'm not really sure like how they translate extremely well to putting on foot, but when you look at them
Hmm.
and the way that they did that, especially with the American flag in the back, that I think that was
Right.
such a, we talk about those touches, right? Like with the kicks Hawaii dunk, right? Like, that pair would have been nice as is, but they add in that Lauhala, to that, and it just sort of, people that know see there. See, we all got a pair, but I
Did you
don't
show
see.
yours too, Gabe?
Yeah, of
Yeah, he
course
did,
I
of
did.
course.
Come on
Oh, you
now.
did?
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
I knew it.
So,
That's
but
automatic.
none of us have the the kicks away on the end. So we have to just you know bow down to John and the fact that he's got like six of them or whatever. But
It
Right.
does look like he's got about 5 or 6 these
yeah,
days. Doesn't it? Yeah.
but
Crazy.
yeah, but the kicks away, definitely, a pair, and one that I wear often with with Oregon stuff. So but yeah, again, oh yeah, those I had at a time, but
Oh
I
yeah.
like that pair. It's a
Clean,
the ultra
man.
the ultra 202. Yeah, it's great.
Word out my Oregon windbreaker.
Makes me miss that pair. That's like a Kaimuki High School. Everyone used to tell me, "Is that Kaimuki High School?" I'm like, "It could be,"
It could be. Very
because
much could
that green's a little darker, right, than your typical Oregon shade. But yeah. So January 9th again is the event for you guys, and where is that at again? In Pearl City?
Pro City, yes. Pro City. It's actually in Palisades Community Center.
Okay.
So it's nice and shaded. It's a nice pavilion. There's a jungle gym for the kids. Bunch of swings and stuff. A lot of open areas where a lot of the kids kind of just run around. As much as we love to think of solely just for shoes and raffles and whatnot, we also think of the keikis as well. So as much as we want to let their parents go looking for shoes and whatnot, but their kids always tugging them like, hey
Right.
kids, go play in the jungle gym, let your parents go and get in a raffle or something. That's pretty much it. That's all it's about. Food trucks as well. I'm sure Gabe probably told you about that. Kids will probably go crazy with the shave ice. Just don't get it on the shoes. But that's it. Live
Yeah.
raffles as well. So I'm looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to it.
And I did want to say too, part of what put us behind was obviously the city's restrictions, the county's restrictions. We were being very, I don't know what the word is, but we were being very sensitive to that. I mean, obviously the last thing you want to do is create a large gathering and invite a bunch of people. So social distancing, everybody's going to have masks on. If you don't have a mask, don't even bother, coming. We very much need to honor the space. We've been given the space for the day. We will be taking care of that space and probably returning it in better shape than when we checked in. We will be starting at 10 a.m. And then Keanu, are we 4 o'clock on end time?
5 o'clock end time.
Okay, so we'll go till 5. And very much so, we want to invite anybody, everybody. And Keanu's right, keiki friendly, family friendly. Really want to make sure that we get as many folks out as possible. We have decided on how much for a cover charge, Keanu?
0.
Nothing.
0.
So no cover charge. Come on through, and you don't have to have a table. If you want to bring some pairs, bring some pairs. But we do recommend that if you wanted a table, you book that table out in the next couple of days. We're down to about 10 tables left. So we want to make sure if you have more than 5-10 pairs and you want to bring them out. Also, vintage clothing pieces, good with us. Streetwear. your own independent brands. We want to support that stuff as much as possible. So very much a local collaborative. Anything short of selling car parts and old baby carriages are cool with us.
And you guys will be selling those tees as well.
Those tees, they're gonna sell quick, man. They are gonna sell quick. So it's an exclusive release. I can't say how much. I wish I could, but I can't say how much. But it will go. It will be flying, man. So you definitely gotta come and get yourself one, Brian.
Yeah. I'm gonna
10
try to.
a.m. 10 a.m.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna try and get there early then, and you know, because I think you know how we feel about backdooring anything. So.
Oh man.
But yeah. Before we head out though, you guys got any shout outs to you want to like shout out any of your former Waipahu players or anything like that?
Oh man, I could go like on forever. I shout out just everybody who has ever showed me love. You know, that's pretty much it. Give love, get love. You know, that's kind of I carried that. I took that with me. I actually so being that I transferred from Pro City High School to Waipahu, they all just showed me love. That was pretty much it. You know, walking around throughout the school, I didn't know anybody. And that's just the nature of it. You know, they welcome me with open arms. Played basketball, baseball, bowling. You're right. So, and then I guess I just took that with me ever since, even to our event. So you know, everything is all love. We don't really believe in that. You know, we're not gonna charge you an entry fee just to come in and spend a little bit more money. You know, we believe that it's just for the culture, and I can't stress that enough that it is for the culture. We want to try and do something new for the culture. We want to reach that epitome of, you know, this is who we are. This is what we have become. And it's not just because of us. It was because everybody, you know, kind of believed in our dreams. That's why we're able to do what we do. So that whole like $0, come in, doesn't matter if you know sneakers, doesn't matter if you're an Oregon fan, doesn't matter if you can go a crazy beard or not. Come on down, man. That's all it's about. It's for the culture. It's all love. That's all.
Gabe, you got any shout outs?
No, I mean, we were influenced a lot and got a lot of ideas through our boy Juan. If you want to look up his customs, he's on Instagram as well. So he's got a couple of customs pages. If you want, you can reach out to me on the boards. I can plug you with him. At some point in the future, because he has left the island, he has not left our hearts. He's definitely still here. He's part of planning it. We do want to get him involved too, and we'd like to do a giveaway at some point that would be giving away a custom of your choice. So you pick the base shoe, and Juan would do that custom for you. I like to wear his stuff as much as possible. He and I have done 3 or 4 customs together, and again, we already talked about Byron and his influence, just what he's done for high school sports, he's done for the scene. Byron Tagalpa has been huge. You know, if you've met the guy, you know he's just straight heart all the way through, no BS. He's brought a lot to it. We've got a couple other guys who are involved kind of on the peripheries. We are going to get an Instagram page going up too, so you can follow us there at the Kickback HI, I believe, on the gram. That'll be coming through, and then we keep hoping to come up with new ways to kind of get people involved. Errol Ingram has been at a lot of our events, and I wanted to shout out Errol because the man has spent the whole entire year collecting pairs. So if you had a brick pair that you didn't like, or hey, it didn't fit you, it was still in good shape, he got to give them out to kids who needed them over Christmas, and I thought that was huge. So shout out Errol Ingram for sure. He'll be at the events, and usually he just kind of circulates and says, hey, you guys got any giveaways? I usually give him a pair every time. So there's a lot of good stuff going around, cloaked in the madness that is 2020. We're flipping the page, January 9th, it's 2021. Let's blow it up, you know, the Kickback 4. So we're happy to have everybody come out. We're hoping for good vibes, good weather. You'll see us. It's all
there
happening.
it is.
Yeah. So, you know, hey, you know, thanks to you guys for coming on some earlier than others, but
Brian, I'm so sorry.
It's all
Brian.
good.
Oh my
It's all
God.
good. It was like I was telling both of you, like this is sort of what I think was I think for a lot of the younger guys too, it's sort of it's nice to again hear some of the stories and to learn about some of sneakers and history of sneakers that sort of go beyond what Travis Scott's wearing or whatever. And I think
Oh
like
man.
it's it's also nice to be able to see like the this whole sort of sneaker game, if that's what you want to call it, is it goes by all shapes and sizes, right? You can have a a lumberjack's beard, or you can be like a full-on baller, or you can be like like
Brian,
some
Brian, you've never seen me bowl, man. You don't know how I bowl, bro.
but you can be what like whatever but we all share is a common sort of bond, which is talking about sneakers and a lot of the things that go behind it, and what pairs sort of meant then and mean now, and how they fit in what ultimately shaped a lot of why people find it so find it's such a phenomenon, right? Like why do people stack all these boxes in their closet, and each of the pairs has a story, and there's a reason why you can't sell certain ones, or you want to try to get one. And those are some of the stories that I hope will kind of come out. And I think that's sort of what's I hope you can get through this through the course of the stream as we move along. And I thank you for you guys for contributing to that, and and sharing a lot of things that like pairs that guys ain't ever gonna see probably maybe ever again, unless they see those freestyles on Gabe's feet. Did you
Right.
has he seen those pairs? Did you show him that pair? Has he seen that
Oh,
before?
I don't know if Keanu was here for that one.
No, he wasn't here for that. I wonder if he's seen that. You better show it to him.
Let's play with what's in the pink box, Keanu.
Oh man. Custom SB,
Oh, come on now.
not the Staples. Oh god. Juan did that?
No, man. This is a DB. This is a Dornbecker freestyle.
Oh, I couldn't even. Oh, there. Now I can see it. It was that glare on the top. There it is. Yeah, there I
Yeah.
see it. I had to hide from the glare.
They're wild, man. They're wild.
That's sick. That is sick.
And you know what I love more than anything? At some point, this pair was discounted to the low price of $19.99.
Where did you pick it
Nice.
up from? Where did you copy from?
That's a mainland pickup that
Oh,
Kevin Dat actually threw a pair of those and hit me with those one day. He was like, man, have you seen these? Because he knew I was trying to get as many Aloha Dunks as I could, and knew I was trying to go after Pele's, but he's like, yo, this one's a Hawaii inspired more than anything.
yeah. I couldn't see the Nike sign, and then I kind of tried to tilt from the glare, and I was like, wait, it's not me, it's you. So I was like, did Juan do that? That's
No, man.
sick, man.
Insoles
That
are
is sick.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, I can see it. Yeah, there you go. I can see it
But
now.
dead stock too, bro.
Yeah. I mean, well, kind of like Brian was saying, like each shoe literally has a story, like, and a lot of the youngings, a lot of this newer generation, all they know is hype, but some of them, a very few number of them will actually know historically, what a shoe means, what it stands for, why it's even come about, like all they know is the GOAT, Jordan, this, Yeezy, whatever, but they don't really know the history unless you kind of break it down for them. But that's what it's about, passing culture, passing wisdom, passing knowledge. But the game has definitely changed.
Oh, before we go though, I got to show you one last one before we go. So I know you guys can appreciate it. So
man.
this is my last pair, and since we're talking about Hawaii pairs, you gotta I think maybe not a lot of guys have seen this, but the Air Force 25, the Iolani Classic.
Wow.
So,
Bro,
Wow.
Are those a 10 half?
These are 9 half, I
Oh
believe.
my god.
Wow.
These are
So it
dead
can't
stock.
fit me or Gabe. Oh
They're
my
dead stock.
gosh.
They're like the only pair I think I have in my entire collection that isn't been worn. But you know, I was
Man,
able to get these from I think the homie Brandon Keogh. And shout out to Brandon for these. But you
that's
know, like
crazy.
you know, like they haven't done a pair since. I have a feeling they may end up doing one. Um, I don't know, the 50th passed, I believe. But yeah, you know, and I really missed the fact that the Atlantic Classic wasn't on this year. So you know, it was but yeah, you know, I think like you know, amongst Hawaii pairs, like, you know, I think Hawaii guys are the ones that are going to appreciate, you know, something like this the most. And you know, the Classic's
Definitely.
such a
Yeah.
franchise as far as high schools sports was here. So I was really like pretty stoked to be able to come across this pair. And I figured, you know, if there's anybody that was gonna appreciate it, it'd be one of you two guys. So
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, the AF25 is definitely.
If that was a 10 half 11, I'd make you an offer right now.
Yeah, but
Oh
yeah.
man.
So you know, yeah, I mean, and this is what it's all about, you know, for me is to, you know, be able to, you know, to do this and, you know, get guys to talk. So everyone that comes on, you know, I think they come off, oh man, we could go on for like 3 hours or whatever. But anyway, thanks a lot, guys, for coming on. Good luck with the event. You know, I'm really I'm hoping I can swing by there and you know, love to have you guys come by again one of these days and talk. You know, I want to actually try and get Errol on and maybe we can talk some you know, talk about what he's been doing. I think that's really, you know, every time I see him every year, right, he's doing this. So, you know, I think it's another
Yep.
great
Yep.
story. But hey, thanks guys for coming on, and you know, I'm sure I'll chop it up with you guys on you know, whether it's soul searchers or sneakerheads. So take care and a happy new year to you both, and thanks everybody on the stream for tuning in.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brian. Thank you for having us.
All
Happy
right.
New
Appreciate you
Year.
having us on, Brian. Happy New
Okay.
Year, brother.
Later.